everyone. It's always melodrama. It's Charlotte.
And it's Max.
And today we will be talking about, drumroll please, Medea and its different adaptations.
Dun, dun, dun.
So we're first going to just start, what is Medea?
What is Medea?
Medea?
Who is Medea?
Who is Medea? Medea is famously a Greek myth turned into a play by our progressive king, Euripides.
Progressive for the time.
For the time, yes. About 431, I think is when it was created.
Yeah. Do you want me to look it up?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Stand by for the Google.
Stand by.
Pretty sure
Stand
431.
Do-do-do.
In like BC?
It was 431.
It was.
What era?
BC, right?
Yeah. It was.
It was.
You got it right.
BCE. Guys, I'm so smart. Anyways, so Medea is the story of a woman named Medea and her husband Jason and their two kids. But Jason, famously a J name, is doing J name activities.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So he decides to go get with the king's daughter.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Of course he did. All J names are the same.
Exactly.
You know what? For anyone who's listening, if you have a J name in your life, they're probably doing the same thing right now.
Dump them.
Dump them. Leave them to the side.
And you can tell them Charlotte and Max from It's Always Melodrama told you to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Medea is pissed, obviously. So she's going to get her revenge.
Oh, how's she going to do it?
How's she going to do it? I'm so glad you asked. How do you think she's going to do it?
Well, hypothetically, if I were Medea,
Yeah.
girl, he'd be dead.
Yes.
He'd be dead. Bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
Well, in that time, what? Slash? Poison? I don't know.
Yes. By the way, Katie Turner, completely hypothetical. We do not condone murder.
We do not condone murder.
No, we don't. But again, hypothetically, we do.
Hypothetically. Yeah.
So, unfortunately, not what happens.
Oh.
She does even worse.
Oh.
She says, I'm going to make him suffer.
Oh, how?
So she kills Creon, kills his new wife, Creon's daughter, and then takes it a step further, kills their kids.
The kids?
The kids, yeah.
Oh, God, but like why?
Little Timmy and Tommy, dead.
Timmy and Tommy. Maybe they transferred to a different body. I don't know.
I think so.
I'm hoping that somebody understands that reference. And
Agatha
if not,
all
you know
along,
what?
if you haven't watched it.
Oh, my God. It's been Medea all along.
Literally. So, yeah, she's so overcome with rage. She's like, I'm going to take everything away from you because she leaves him too.
Oh.
And then dead and gone. Everyone else.
God. Wait, did she kill herself?
No, she doesn't. She actually leaves on like a chariot sent down by the gods because like one of her family members is a god.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love Greek myths.
I know, right? They're just crazy.
Yeah.
But so today, we're actually going to be talking about an adaptation of Medea, not
We
the
are?
original. Yes, we are.
You saying that as if I don't know which adaptation it is?
Literally, but they don't.
They sure don't.
So why don't we tell them about it, Max?
Oh my God. Okay. So the adaptation that we will be talking about today is Medea en el espejo, or Medea in the mirror.
Oh my gosh, can
by
I just
Jose
say,
Triana.
I love when you speak Spanish.
Oh my God, you're making me blush.
I love it.
Oh. But yeah. So that's the adaptation that we are going to be talking about today. It was set in 1950s Cuba.
1950s Cuba, that seems like very sort of specific. Was there anything going on in 1950s Cuba, Max?
Oh my God. You know what, Charlotte? There sure was. There was a lot going on in 1950s Cuba.
That there was.
But to fully understand it, we're going to go back to the 1910s.
Yes, we are.
World War I. So World War I ends. And you know what? Where do like white Americans like to travel to?
I'm going to say Europe.
Europe. You want to know what Europe was? In shambles.
Yeah.
Because trench warfare.
Yeah.
And so the white Americans were just like, oh,
Where are we going to
all
go?
this income. Where are we going to go? And they went to Havana, Cuba.
Havana, Cuba. Yes, they did.
And they started going there. They got a lot of tourism going on. And they essentially, all the white Cubans dominated the coast of Cuba.
Yes.
All the coastal cities.
Yes.
And all the Afro-Cubans, the mulatas, los mulatos, all had to go to the sugar fields.
Yes, they did.
And they worked there, and they worked there, and there was so much discrimination going on that they stayed.
Yeah.
And fast forwarding to 1952, Fulgencio Batista becomes president. Well, not really president. He becomes a dictator.
Yeah.
We know him now as a dictator.
That we do.
And because he, you know what? Fucked with the election.
Yeah, he did.
And he was like, I'm dictator now. And people did not like that.
No.
So one little group of people that I don't know the name of. Didn't find that out. But they were led by one Fidel Castro.
Yes, they were.
And
famous name. We know that name.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Or
and
you
Castro
should know that name.
Wanted to bring Cuba back to its democratic nation.
Yes.
That it was before.
Or at least that's what he said.
That's what he said. And so he goes through all these different things and tactics of trying to get Batista out of office. And it finally eventually works. Batista goes to the Dominican Republic and flees to Portugal. Yes. And that leaves Fidel Castro and his good old buddies to run the country.
Yes.
And Fidel Castro becomes the prime minister of the country. Don't ask me what the difference between a prime minister and a president is.
Above our
theater
pay grade.
major.
Above our pay grade.
Above our pay grade.
Yes.
So Castro, famously does not do anything that he promised.
No, they
and
never
that
do.
Sucks. Yeah. And he turns it into another dictatorship.
Yes.
And because of this, let me scroll down. They began to take away fundamental rights and execute and imprison those who stepped out of line to oppress the people of Cuba.
Yes.
Now, going back a little bit, while all of this revolt was going on in the revolution of Cuba, our young Jose Triana goes to Spain. And he's just like, good luck. I'm not dealing with that. Call me when it's done.
Yeah.
And what do? They call him when it's done. And he comes back.
King behavior.
And he sees, this is not getting better.
No.
And so you know what he does?
He writes.
He writes a play called Medea in the Mirror.
Thank you. Can I get it in Spanish, please?
Medea en el espejo.
Thank you.
I know. And he puts it on. The opening night, great applause, great everything. And then he gets told by the Cuban government to do what?
Gone.
Gone.
Banned.
They said, do not perform this again or firing squad to you.
Firing squad.
Firing squad, that's what they would do.
Yes.
To everyone.
Unfortunately.
Kids included.
Yes. Oh my God, you were telling me about that. The kids?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Everyone. God.
Who else killed the kids?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Medea. But yeah, so it's banned.
Yeah.
And you know what? Jose Triana, through the lens of Medea, shows us how a past of colonialism and racism still affects us today.
That he does.
Yeah.
So I think now we talked a little bit about the context. Now let's talk about Medea in the Mirror, the play itself, because I know maybe not everyone has read it who's listening to this. So
Which, I say, probably nobody has read it because it's so hard to get a copy of it.
Truly, me and Max were in the trenches trying to get a copy of this play.
No one had a copy of it, had to order it off of Amazon, and it took a week and a half to get here.
And it's great, so people should read it.
It's such a good play.
Yes. So basically,
that's what it's about.
In this version, we have our Medea is named Maria, our Jason is named Julio, and our Creon is named Perico. And Maria is in love with Julio. Julio is Cuban, very charming, very hot. Think Diego Luna.
Oh,
yes.
Young Diego Luna?
Young Diego Luna.
Oh, my God.
2004 Dirty Dancing Havana Nights. That's what we're thinking about. And Maria is a mulata. She is Afro-Cuban.
Yes.
And so Julio, once again, J-name behavior, decides he's going to go get with Perico, a white man's rich white daughter, instead of Maria.
So leaving her.
Yes, leaving her.
Oh, God.
And also, again, 2 children. And so basically, Maria is not having this. And Maria is angry.
As she should be.
But also very delusional. Because she still thinks like Julio loves her.
I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? At that time, I would too.
I would too. The trials and tribulations that this woman went through, baby, she could not get it through her skull until voodoo and witchcraft was involved.
And that wasn't the first thing that they did, right?
That was not even the first thing that they did. They tried everything. And baby, until voodoo, witchcraft, magic, and her dead mother, she didn't get it.
Oh, God.
And once she gets it, she goes on a rampage.
Oh.
Kills Perico and the daughter, poisoned wine, kills the 2 children, and is like, you know what? And you're going to take it.
Oh.
And that he did. So now, this whole sort of play talks a lot about race and contextualizing that. So can you talk a little bit about racism in Cuba and how it relates back to our good old play, Medea in the Mirror? Can I get it in Spanish, please, Max?
Medea en el espejo.
Thank you.
Yeah. So racism in Cuba
Yeah.
was very prominent during the 1950s.
Yes, it was.
It was one of the first things that Fidel Castro said that he was going to do when in office.
Yes.
He was like, I am going to end segregation. I'm going to end discrimination.
That was his
and
one
racism."
thing. His one thing we can give him.
Yeah. The one thing we can give him, he did do that.
tried.
And it was successful in like most parts.
For the most part.
Yeah. But most of rural Cuba was worked by Afro-Cubans,
Yes,
as
it
we said
was.
before. They all went there to work on the sugar fields.
Yeah.
And they were not treated well
No.
by Batista and the previous like rulers.
No.
And Castro wanted to change that. He was just like, I want everybody to be able to read. I want everybody to be treated equally.
Yes.
Which like, period.
Because they were also famously illiterate.
Yes.
Yes.
And so in the first 3 years of his reign, he got everybody to be literate.
Yes.
And he ended segregation.
That he did.
He tried to end discrimination and racism.
Yes.
Yeah.
And within this, the government was very much like, hey guys, we fixed racism, actually. There is no racism, there is no discrimination. But as we can see through Medea in the Mirror, there still very much is.
Yes.
Julio is leaving Maria. We're going to call a spade a spade. He's leaving Maria because she is half black.
Yes. And because she sees that there's going to be more, he's seeing that there's going to be more power with the white woman.
Yes, because
With Perico's daughter.
Perico is very, very powerful.
Yes.
White man. And so do you think that sort of the rise of literacy made it so this was banned? Because now all these people who, like the working class who couldn't read, are seeing this show being like, holy shit, discrimination isn't fixed. Like, it's still a really big problem. And do you think that's why the government was like, yikes, ban it, firing squad?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Because it really is just that, what you said.
Alrighty, so now we're going to talk a little bit about a source by William Garcia.
So Garcia focuses in his writing
Yeah.
about how in Medea in the Mirror, Maria is not discriminated against for her being a foreigner.
Mm-hmm.
It's the race,
Yes.
that she's an Afro-Cuban instead of a white Cuban or a Latino Cuban.
Yes.
And it really affects her, but she doesn't see it.
No.
She doesn't understand that that's one of the reasons that it, like, Julian is leaving her.
Yeah.
Julian, Julio. Sources say different names.
The many names.
The many names, the many J names.
The many J names of treachery.
But it's just interesting to see that she doesn't notice it. She doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
And it's something that I can tie to like my personal life.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened in my family before where they married a white person.
Yeah.
And they didn't see themselves as anything other than a white person now.
Yeah.
And they completely lost their race.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I see on the docket that we've got another source to talk about.
Yes, we do. So I actually found a source that talked a little bit about like how her gender intersected with her race as well. Because mostly this is talking about the racial discrimination.
Yes.
But there is that sort of aspect of she was also a woman. And sort of Triana's Medea was able to be sympathetic due to the fact that, because Triana's Medea was kind of more evil than Euripides' Medea was.
Yes.
But because of the historical context we talked about earlier with Cuba and all that, you're able to sympathize with her more because she is living as a mixed woman in a place that doesn't really like that.
Yeah.
And so you also kind of see with the fact that, you know, Cuba is having this sort of like renaissance, not to use that word, but in a sense, with arts and sort of people questioning government. You can see that in this piece. There's sort of the lines are being blurred between woman, man, God, human. I know at the end of the play, she Maria literally says the words, "I am God," before being overtaken by the chorus.
Yes.
But there is that sort of, and the use of witchcraft and magic and voodoo, there is that sort of blurring the lines between God, human, government, people, like being of mixed race. There's also that sort of aspect of having so many different identities within yourself. So I think it's very interesting, that sort of fact about it. I don't know what you think about that, Max, but do you have any thoughts? Or just echoing what I say because I'm so smart and beautiful?
Just echoing. Yes. You got it straight up.
That I did.
Yeah.
Now, I also see on our docket. Now, we talked a lot of heavy stuff.
Yeah, we sure did. We got a little bit somber.
We did.
We had a little bit fun at the beginning.
Yes.
Historical context.
Give
our little sources.
History with Max.
Yeah.
History with M&C.
M&C.
M&C. Yeah. I love that for us. I see on our docket we have a little yap sesh at hand because we just found out this can be 30 minutes long.
It can be 30 minutes
long. And
it
will.
It sure will. Katie, strap in.
Get a snack. We should have said this at the beginning. Grab a snack.
Grab
a drink.
Yeah.
Get a marg.
Also, if you haven't already, put the shirt on.
Put the shirt on that we got you.
Because we have our shirts on right now.
We are currently wearing our matching shirts. And please put it on.
You need to put it on.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
So, Max, would you like to start our little yap session? Just about the play itself and our thoughts?
God, okay. Mm-hmm. The play moves so fast.
Yes, it does.
It was insane.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. And I had to reread it so many times.
Me too.
Because I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then I would flip back pages and I was like, how did this go from here to now we're here?
Yeah.
And then the scenes are so short.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it before where a scene will end and start.
Yeah.
And it'll just be a continuation of the same thing.
Literally.
And we're learning in script analysis, the unit, different units and the beats of scenes.
Yes.
And when I'm reading it, it doesn't feel like it's changed.
No, it doesn't.
So I'm just like, why did Triana choose to divide these scenes the way that he did?
Yeah.
If nothing's really changing.
Literally. I thought I was tripping out when I was reading it, and it was scene 5 and it was a single line from the little boy, and then it was the next scene. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Or isn't there one where it's just a ton of stage directions?
Yeah.
And then it's 3 lines from Medea, and then it just moves on as if nothing ever happened?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Famously.
God.
This play did move fast. Also, another thing that I found interesting, I mean, this play was batshit. It was crazy.
Yeah.
There was never a dull moment.
There never was.
In Medea in the Mirror. Can I get it in Spanish?
Medea en el espejo.
Thank you. Never a dull moment. We were driving that car at 90 down the freeway the entire time. And I can appreciate that.
I can too. It was fun reading it.
Yes, it was. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I also I love the use of magic.
Yeah.
That was so cool. And I think too, I would love, not that I think we should petition this, Katie, hint, hint, but I would love to see this realized. All the stage directions about the mirrors and the people. I remember there was one time where all the people were talking to Maria through the mirrors. That would be gorgeous.
Yes.
So cool. And I feel like it would be such an interesting thing to see staged.
Yeah.
That I would love to see it. All the mirrors and the I feel like you could do some beautiful set design. Just thinking about Havana, Cuba is such a beautiful, lively place. The streets of Havana at night all lit up. I feel like that'd be gorgeous. And I would love to see our MFA stage, oh my God, scenic.
Oh,
lighting.
Oh my God, the street of Havana.
Sammy Webster lighting this. I know, unfortunately, leaving because graduation.
Yeah.
But Sammy lighting this would be, and Katie, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So good. Sammy is currently lighting New Brain I'm working on, Max. And it's gonna be gorge.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
I know.
That's a little sneak peek for our next episode.
Our next episode will be on SJC's production of A New Brain.
I know.
Get so excited.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you'd like to talk about this play, Max?
Well, I really enjoy. We brought this up together.
Yes, we did.
That the characters are aware of the chorus.
Yes.
And that they talk about the characters.
They do.
Or not they talk about the characters. They talk to the characters. And I know you brought up one part.
Yes.
What, do you want to talk about that?
I would love to. Basically, I found it so interesting how there is a point at which, like, it's Julio and Perico, and the chorus is saying, like, basically, you're going to die, is what they're saying to Perico. And Perico goes, are they talking about me dying? And Jason was like, oh, ha, 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 no, they're just making a joke. Like, don't listen to them. But, like, Perico was fully aware of and could hear what the chorus was saying, which I thought was crazy because I've never seen that necessarily, or I'm not used to that in shows. I feel like the chorus is always very much like, oh, like on the side, and the characters are like, God, melodrama, you know?
It's more just like, oh my God, melodrama.
Melodrama,
Not the name of the
hey,
show.
shameless plug.
I know, but it was awesome.
It was. I really liked it.
Yeah, and another chorus thing that I really liked was that every chorus member had their own kind of backstory in a sense.
Yes.
Like, it wasn't just like chorus of all people that like they all dressed the same.
People, yeah.
It was boy,
the little
selling
boy,
newspaper and lottery tickets.
Barber,
Man. Bongo Man.
He was my fave.
Antonio's wife, which we don't even know who Antonio is.
We do not know who Antonio is. We just know he has a wife.
But it, like, just seeing that there's like this background of the people of Cuba.
Yes.
It really helps to make it feel alive.
Definitely.
Because they're able to go in and, like, they've all got their own door that they stand at one point.
Yes.
And they talk to... Do they talk to Maria or the audience? I don't remember which one.
I don't remember
I feel
either.
like they do both.
They do. We get a lot.
Yeah. And just, like, having that picture in my head of them standing at their doors talking and having their own lines and their own perspective because they are a full-fledged character.
They are.
Not just chorus. Is so refreshing to see.
I love it.
Yeah.
And that's why I think we should do this at SDSU. No, I'm joking.
No, but like, really.
It would be so cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
It would be awesome.
Don't worry, we'll direct it.
I know. God, with what time?
Maybe we'll make time.
We'll make time. I'll zoom in.
I'll zoom in.
I know that we can.
And I know that we can. Baby, this tea. So I think that kind of concludes our little yap about the play.
Yeah.
Is there any last things you want to talk about, Max? Anything you'd like to say? Any burning desires you have to talk about?
I think I'm all good.
I think so too. I think what I need you to say Medea in the mirror in Spanish one more time for me.
Okay. Are you ready?
I need it real seductive.
Medea en el espejo.
Yes. I hope you're wearing really good headphones, Katie, because I am, and delectable.
I am too. I can hear it in my ears too.
Thank God.
Ooh.
So I think that's going to be the end of our podcast.
Yeah. And, remember.
Because at the end,
it's always melodrama.
melodrama. And thank you so much.
See you next time.
See you next time. Get excited.
Oh my God.
Yay!
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. We're fully podcasters now. So
we are.
Thank you so much, Katie.
Thank you so much, Katie.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Digital Humanities Center. Thank you, Adela de la Torre.
Not Adela.
Baby, not Adela. Anyways, bye.